try it.
Okay.
No. Now we have it.
Yep. So,
Okay.
Wrong one.
Ready to get started?
So the agenda is this one. Open. Okay. Can you see that?
No.
Not yet.
Screen. Can you see it now?
No.
No.
I'm hitting share screen. Oh. Now?
yep,
Yes.
Okay.
thank you.
Yep. Well,
No, that's not
Not-
the agenda.
Well, I only got 3 things. She sent me this.
Do you have the board
Something-
packet?
That's the college information for College Board, great colleges to work for, and special session conference budget.
Right. Is that what you have?
That's what I have.
Okay, all right. Why don't we go to Great Colleges?
so we're going to,
Okay.
right.
And
Sorry.
if I can share my screen, can someone allow me to share?
You are screen sharing. I am screen sharing. So you should be able to share.
It
You
says
share.
I cannot start screen. Well, oh, you've got to put yours down. You got to move yours.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
No, it's still there. You have to
Screen
look at the top and it should say
Stop.
stop screen sharing.
says, oh, okay. There we
There
go.
you go. Okay. Let's see.
Bruce and I were at the Culpeper Rotary earlier today, and that was a bit of a technological challenge as well. So it must be the weather.
Are they meeting, Jan?
They're
We
meeting.
had a-
It was,
We had a PowerPoint that Jan G was going to present and never got to present it.
Oh, goodness.
So we just kind of walked through it and tap danced.
On Zoom.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
With a broken foot.
You had to be quick on your feet.
With a broken foot, I'll just add.
Yes.
Ooh.
No pun intended.
And so, Amy, I think for the report out, if Ann, you're okay with it, we'll have Lori kind of quickly go through this as you
Okay.
report out.
Yes, of course.
Is that okay? Rather than,
Sure. Oh, you mean during the executive committee report out?
Yep.
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and go through this hurriedly because I need to leave time for Dr. Gullickson and Bruce to present theirs. So bear with me. I'm going to talk about the Great Colleges to Work For survey results for 2020. The Chronicle of Higher Education and Modern Think partnered in designing and conducting this survey. Great Colleges to Work For program recognizes successful colleges in creating great workplaces. It assesses key dynamics and relationships that are influencing a college's culture and performance. This survey is conducted every 2 years, and 221 colleges from across the country participated in this year's survey. This included 2- and 4-year institutions. We had 94 2-year colleges participate. The survey was sent out to 96,000 employees with an overall response rate of 42.5%. Germanna sent out 651 surveys with a response rate of 41.3%. So this is very much in keeping with the overall response rate. So that's good. As you can see, over time, our response rate has increased from 21.8% to 41.3%. Just as a side note, in 2016 and 2018, we sent out this survey to a random sample of full-time and part-time faculty and staff. In 2020, we sent it out to everybody. Actually, it was not part-time for the 2016 and 18. 2020 was for all full-time and part-time faculty and staff. So we've increased the population that's being surveyed. For the classified staff, we had sent out 125 surveys and we got 106 who responded. That gives us an 84.8% response rate for classified employees. That is fantastic. It's double the overall response rate, and we're really pleased to see that much participation. For teaching faculty, we had 87 surveys sent and 59 responded. That gives us a 67.8% response rate for teaching faculty. For administrative and professional or A&P faculty, 41 surveys were sent, 27 responded. That gives us a 65.9% response rate for A&P. Adjunct, on the other hand, not so good. We sent out 238 surveys and 43 responded, giving us an 18.1% response rate, which is fairly low. And going forward, we'll just have to continue to encourage them to participate. There are 15 dimensions for which we're surveyed. We have job satisfaction support, teaching environment, professional development, compensation benefits and work-life balance, facilities, policies, resources and efficiency, shared governance, pride, supervisors, department chairs, senior leadership, faculty administration and staff relations, communications, collaboration, fairness, respect and appreciation. There are 5 rating categories: very good to excellent, good, fair to mediocre, warrants attention, and poor. And you can see the rating ranges that correspond to each one of those categories. So what did we do well? Very good to excellent. You'll notice that we have 5 dimensions down on the left. Last year, or 2 years ago, we actually had only two that fell into the very good to excellent. This year we have added facilities, supervisors, department chairs, and senior leadership. You will notice we have our overall category rating, which falls into very good to excellent. And then to the right, you'll notice there's some highlighted percentages. In this situation, there were some employee groups who rated this, a couple of the dimensions. If you look at supervisors, department chairs, you'll see that full-time teaching faculty, exempt and non-exempt staff rated them in the next lower category, which is good. So good is good. What did we do well? What did we do good? 65 to 74%. We have a lot of dimensions on this sheet. We have 9 dimensions and we had 6 last year, so we are improving. Policies, resources, and efficiency was added, shared governance, and respect and appreciation. Just want you to note that for faculty administration and staff relations, you'll notice that there are some percentages that aren't highlighted. These are the ones where the employee groups rated it higher than the overall rating of good. So there was A&P faculty, full-time teaching, and adjuncts rated this dimension higher into the very good to excellent category. You'll notice at the bottom, which is a little alarming, for fairness and respect and appreciation, all classified rated this dimension lower than the good rating. They rated them as fair to mediocre. So we decided to drill down a little bit to see what it is that's causing this. For each dimension, there were statements that were surveyed. So for the fairness dimension, the statements are, I can speak up or challenge a traditional way of doing something without fear of harming my career. Promotions in my department are based on a person's ability. Issues of low performance are addressed in my department. That one was rated especially low. This institution's policies and practices ensure fair treatment for faculty, administration, and staff. This institution has clear and effective procedures for dealing with discrimination. And then for the respect and appreciation dimension, we had two that were rated quite low. I am regularly recognized for my contributions. Their recognition and awards programs are meaningful to me. The other statements that weren't rated so low: at this institution, people are supportive of their colleagues regardless of their heritage or background, and we celebrate significant milestones and important accomplishments at this institution. So some things that we need to focus on. Fair to mediocre. We only have one dimension here. In the past, we had two other ones. There was policies, resources, and efficiencies, and shared governance. And with policies, resources, and efficiencies, we've really worked hard to develop policies and guidelines to assist their faculty and staff. We, in the past, unfortunately, have relied wholeheartedly on the Department of Human Resource Management policies as well as VCCS policies. So I think it's been very informative for them, and that's probably why it went up category this year. And shared governance, I know that was on the fair to mediocre, but I know through Dr. Gullickson, we have created a sound governance process where it allows all of the constituencies to weigh in, to review, and ultimately approve any of the initiatives or policies across the institution. Now, as far as communication, that's the only fair to mediocre, and the overall rating was 64%, which is at the cusp of good. It's on the high end of fair to mediocre. In fact, A&P faculty rated it as good, and adjuncts rated it as very good to excellent. So we still want to drill down to find out what it is in communication that's holding us back. For the dimension communication, the statements are: when I offer a new idea, I believe it will be fully considered. In my department, we communicate openly about issues that impact each other's work. Changes that affect me are discussed prior to being implemented. This is one that was rated unusually low. At this institution, we discuss and debate issues respectfully to get better results. We are making progress. We've even made progress with communication, and I'll show that to you in just a bit. We had no dimensions that received a warrants attention rating. That's positive. Last year, we had respect and appreciation and communication. So again, we're making improvement. In 2016 was the last time we received a poor rating. 2020, there were no dimensions that received a poor rating. So this is very positive. The next several slides, I think, will show you just how much we've improved over time. These are the different years. 2016 is noted with a wine-colored bar. 2018 is a gray bar, and 2020 is red bar. And so you can see for this set of dimensions that we've improved in all of them. Something of note, professional development and compensation, benefits, and work-life balance did take a dip in 2018. And while it did increase in 2020, it did not more than make up for what was done in 2016. Something of note. The next set of dimensions, they again have shown improvement over time. Policies, resources, and efficiency. You'll notice it took a dip in 2018, but in 2020, it more than made up for it at 68%. Shared governance, that was the one that had moved a couple of categories, It went from 56% to 60 to 72%, which is good. And then senior leadership also improved vastly, 59%, 70% to 77%. And the last set of dimensions again show that we are improving over time. I want to bring your attention to communication. As you know, we received a fair to mediocre rating for communication, and we've gone from 50% in 2016 to 64% in 2020. So that just goes to show that we're still improving even in that dimension. Respect and appreciation. You'll notice we had a little dip in 2018, but we more than made up for it in 2020. Ratings by employee group. You'll notice that for most of these employee groups that the ratings have increased over time, except for non-exempt. There was a significant decline in the rating from 81% to 71%. So we need to focus in on that and see what's going on. Adjuncts, it was just a slight dip from 84 to 81, nothing of significance. You'll notice there's a 0% there in the adjunct category, and that's because we did not send out surveys to adjuncts in 2016. Ratings by category. Now this is very revealing. Poor category, we went from 3 to 0. This is from 2016 to 2020. Warrants attention, we went from 10 to 0. Fair to mediocre, we went 14 to 10. And then the good category, as you can see, really increased. It went from 16 to 28. So that's really improving. And the very good to excellent category is a slight decline, but nothing significant. Our institutional research unit actually had reviewed all of the comments that were made in the survey, and they grouped them into common themes. And then they had a count of people who corresponded to those themes. So for the first question that was asked, what do you appreciate most about working at this institution? 100 said they liked or they appreciated the college's co-workers and the people that they work with, and teamwork with others. 52 didn't have a common theme. 22 liked the flexibility and freedom they have in their jobs. 9 appreciate benefits and salary. Now we'll have to say, based on a deeper dive, it was more benefits than it was salary. They really appreciate their benefits. 8 people appreciate living close to work. 7 felt the institution cared about them and was concerned about their well-being. And 7 appreciate the diversity of the institution. 7 appreciate our mission, and 6 appreciate our culture.
So Lori, this was everybody,
These were all the comments that were made.
all the comments all together.
All the comments, yes. The next question that was asked was, what would make this institution a better place to work? And we had 65 that fell into the other category, which means that they didn't have a common theme. 48 believe that we should pay more. And
Lori,
so that was,
Lori,
yes.
Simon has a question. I also should point out that this was given while we're in the throes of transitioning from COVID.
Yeah.
So this is March and
Yeah.
April.
That was going to be my question as to when was this sent out, and when were the results? You know, is there a time span of when the results are? Because there's nothing shown in this PowerPoint as to what that timeline was. Because I think that's a very important factor.
Yeah, it's a good question. We sent it out, and then it was about, I want to say 6 months before they gave us the results. Do you recall, Dr. Gullickson?
Yeah, I think because I was very timid to do this in the COVID flux. I mean, I knew I had to do it, but it was kind of like, oh. But so this was open until April or later. In fact, the company allowed us to extend the time because of COVID. The results didn't come for a few months later, but maybe 2 months at the most, maybe 3.
Right. Yeah. Let's see, where was I? I think I'm on communication. There were 26 who want better communication between themselves, co-workers, and the departments. And of course, this is exacerbated by us working remotely. Acknowledgement of hard work. People are working hard and don't feel like they're being acknowledged for it. 18% want better facilities, and this is particularly at the Locust Grove campus. 15 want less pressure and fewer initiatives. 15 want more autonomy and flexibility in their jobs, which is also showed up on the positive, what we're doing right. 15 feel that certain departments receive more attention and praise and awards, and they feel like they want more praise and awards. They want it easier to get a promotion, and they want to have better respect between the departments. Promotion process, 14 felt like we need guidelines for promotion, and they want to make it easier to actually get promoted. 12 want better supervisors and leadership. 11 want more opportunities. 9 want better governance, and that's very interesting because that was one that we really improved upon. We moved 2 categories for governance. 8, they feel the need for more staff based on the work that's being done, and 8 think we need more diversity, and 6 want fewer meetings. So that's
I think it's important to keep in mind, though, that so of the 41%, that's about 267 people. I mean, it just gives you more perspective. So when 48 out of 267 say something about their pay and benefits, that's I mean, you pay attention to that. When 6 people say something out of 267, it's okay. That's good to know. You comment, but it's not the same kind of statement, I guess.
Exactly. So the takeaway from all of this is that we are overall really improving. Ideally, we would like to have all our ratings in the very good to excellent category. We do need to pay special attention to communication, fairness, and respect and appreciation. We are currently updating, some of us are updating our objectives to include these dimensions and to continue to align with our strategic goal of nurturing a culture of high performance, innovation, and appreciation. So that concludes my presentation. Any questions?
I would just comment that I think this is a very good story. It definitely tells or paints the picture of an improved environment overall in terms of the responses. So I think, yes, we should pay attention to the information that where we can improve, but I think we should feel good about these results and keep working.
So Lori, I have a question. And I'm kind of wearing my Mary Washington Healthcare Board hat because we do similar things there. Is there a benchmark for other institutions our size that we could compare to?
There is a comparison to the other colleges, but we honed in on what we, how we've improved. We really wanted to put special attention to how we've improved from, 2 years, 4 years. So yes, they do have that comparison. but we didn't call out that information to be included in this presentation because of the focus that we wanted to have on our own improvement.
But we do have that, Bruce. And
We
Okay.
do have it.
Yep.
We do have it.
And generally, last year, if I recall correctly, except for maybe one of these areas, we were better than the national standards, I think. I don't,
I have no doubt.
well, don't quote me on that. I think it's a great question and we should get that information out, how we compare to others.
Yeah, well, one comparison is there's what they call, if you win if you become one of the great colleges to work for, you're bestowed that honor, or if you had honor roll, then you would be in the top in terms of comparison. There were only a couple of other colleges that got the honor roll, and I'm trying to remember who they are. I know Fairfax was one of them, and I believe Southside was one of them. And there's one more, I can't remember which one, but that, that is a form of comparison.
Thank you.
Do the other colleges in our system participate in this?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Yes.
So do you think the chancellor looks at the comparison among the?
Well, I
colleges
think
in-
he pays special attention to the ones who actually, earned the honor of being one of the best colleges. So he does announce the winners of that. So he announced the 3 colleges I was referencing earlier who received that honor. But we're working towards it. I did contact the survey folks and ask them, we look like we've done quite well here. What is it we need to do differently to get bestowed that, to have that bestowed honor? And they also send us a huge survey to complete about the institution and things that we're doing within the institution. And they said we could, focus in on that one as well. So it's not just the ratings that you get, it's also how you respond to that huge survey that they send.
Actually, I don't think the chancellor, I think Lori's absolutely right. The chancellor probably doesn't look at those that didn't win it. And we were so close. It was just heartbreaking for me because we worked so hard on this. But you know what? That gives us something to strive for next year. So.
Right.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay, sure. Let me stop sharing. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Jan, you're next.
Okay, let me see if I can get this to work. I've been having trouble. Have you ever lost your cursor like over and over again? I've having
Oh,
that.
I've had that happen. That's so
And I-
annoying. It's like, where is it?
No, and then I'm trying to unmute and it's terrible. Okay, so I should be able to. Okay. Pull this down. Let me put this up.
Simon, I love the graphic you use when you go offline. You look like a snowman.
Is there, oh, the one, yeah, yes.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
I
don't
just saw
have a
my
picture-
name.
Stacy, can you pull that up? I can't, I'm having trouble. Let me see if I can get this. How's it going? How's it going? Do you see
There you
it?
go.
There you-
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. I want to just quickly go through the slide that I have in front of you. This special session was a very good special session for community colleges. Nothing really bad happened to us, only good things. And I think in part that was because the governor is just really proud of what his community colleges are doing. So, and he understands that we need to really be front and center on the recovery process. He actually has bonuses for us if revenue projections are met. And today's revenue projections came out for October, and they were not bad at all. I think they were down 2% or something. So it's really quite good. And what's happening, just for your information, is that while payroll taxes are gone down because of unemployment, other taxes are making up for most of that loss. So also gave $2 million to workforce programs, fast forward programs. For us, that would be programs like asphalt and some of the other ones run out of the workforce side of the house. We get $15 million in one-time money, which we are bringing our way. I think it's about $360,000 for Germanna. If at all possible, I plan to bank it. I don't know if I can. And the reason for that is that we're still unsure about fiscal year 22. Just really unsure about it, particularly because COVID is really going rampant again. And all of our employees will get a health insurance premium holiday. They won't have to pay health insurance in December, which is always a good thing. And then the increases in health insurance premiums were cut by half. So those are all good news things that came out of the session. As I said, we will get bonuses if projections are met, and it looks like we're going to come awfully close. The bonus amount would be $1,500 for full-time employees and $750 for adjuncts, which would really help with some of those issues that Lori pointed out, which is the salary and pay things. We are working so hard on those, but here's kind of the interesting thing. We have a lot of cash this year, but we can't spend it for pay raises right now because of the uncertainty of FY22. And actually, some of that money is one-time money. And of course, you'd never give a raises based on money you only got once. But we're hoping and praying that we can do salary increases to more classified people as we review them in December, and then hopefully faculty and well, it would be faculty for FY22. So those proposals would go in May or June of next year. We are a low paying place, and we don't necessarily all live in a low cost of living area. More fast forward, more detailed, and $15 million for affordable access. We can use those funds to fund operations or financial aid or other areas that have affected us because of COVID. Using it for financial aid is probably the best idea. We still have many students who need tremendous amount of help. It's really bad out there. We have, you'll hear about this from the Academic Affairs Committee, but we have a new program called REV, which is geared to the unemployed. And some of the stories they tell are just heartbreaking. It's unbelievable that we live in a first world nation and people are having these problems. All right. And again, as I said, health insurance premium holiday in December 2020. I'm not sure, Lori, what we pay for health insurance. I just don't know on a regular basis, but that, of course, as you well know, that amount is the same for everybody. So it's the same for me, who makes the most of the institution, as well as the person who's the lowest paid at the institution. So we're pleased to be able to do that for employees. And then, of course, the premiums aren't going up as much as we thought. We thought they were going up 7%, which is substantial for the state as well as individuals, but it's only going to be about 3.5%. SHEV is supposed to look at how we can maintain stability. You know, for right now, Germanna is really in a good position financially, but there are many higher ed institutions that aren't across the country, and also many of the universities here. And again, one of the reasons Germanna's doing well is a 5% enrollment increase for fall, whereas the majority of our institutions went up very little or none at all. Some of the institutions went down double digits, and I'm talking some of the major institutions. The Online Virginia Network Authority is just important because we want to be sure that we have resources that are virtual. And that ends my presentation. didn't know if you have any questions about that. All in all, community colleges were treated quite well. And we do expect with the election of Mr. Biden that will, well, who knows what happens in the Senate. But we'll anticipate some sort of stimulus, more money going forward. But we're not going to spend it till we got it. Questions about that? Any comments?
Overall, good news.
Very good news. Very good news. But I do want to tell you, and Bruce will probably go in for a more direct ask, but it's unbelievable what families are going through now. It's unbelievable. We have a 16-year-old student who's never really met his father because in the Gladys P. Todd Academy, who's never really met his father because he's been in prison all this time. He is the sole breadwinner for his family of his mother and his younger sibling. And he's trying to go to school full time at Germanna while finishing high school.
Wow.
It's just, I mean, and so we sometimes cheat a little bit and give enough food for grandma and stuff like that because
More than one.
more than one. Because we gotta, I mean, if we don't, yeah. So all in all, the legislative session has gone very well for us, and we anticipate another stimulus package, which will help us very much as well. Oh my gosh, we only have 5 more minutes, Bruce. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I can be quick. So Stacy, can you put up my pages? Or Jan, you might be able to.
Let's see, I'm
Trust
having,
me, I can't.
well, I've been having some problems, as I said today, so let's see. Do you have the board packet? You don't have, oh, you have Bruce's
Yeah.
PowerPoint, right? Okay,
Stacy had my packet up
she
when,
did,
when we first got here.
because I don't really have it, Bruce, so.
Okay. Well, so
So just a sec first, Stacy, if you just put it up on your screen, it should pop up to share it. Okay, go ahead, Bruce, sorry.
this has been a challenging year, to say the least. We were very fortunate early on, or late last year, we received $500,000 from Mary Jane O'Neill in December, thanks to Terry and Dr. G. And then the following February, we received $1 million from her to complete her $1.5 million gift. So we started the year off really very, very well. And the foundation, you know, was looking forward to Scholarship Monte Carlo and our golf tournament and Distinguished Person of the Year, you know, our regular events. We had great plans for that. And then the pandemic hit, and I lost what little hair I had left. And so with a lot of consternation and a lot of hard work and strategizing between my staff and Dr. G, we put together a pretty good plan that I think has worked out pretty well. So
Stacy, it's up, just 1 second. It's up now, Stacy, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what you're looking at is an estimate through October 31st. We have not completed the books on October 31, and it's a comparison to the actual books through October 31st, 2019. So on the estimate for through Halloween on 2020, that includes the $1 million that was given in this calendar year by Mary Jane. And it also includes this year's $250,000 from Atlantic Builders, which came in on October 28th. The figure for 2019 shows that it included Atlantic Builders. So the difference is we're up about $1,040,000. Back out Mary Jane, we're up 40,000. Special event revenue, and this is where we were really sweating. You know, last year in 2019, we were looking at, you know, we had Monte Carlo and golf. Not all the money, even though we made 700,000 gross revenue in Monte Carlo last year, it wasn't all collected. Terry knows how all this, you know, people pledge stuff and it comes in over time. The 2020 number includes some money that came in after last year's DPOY, plus our golf tournament this year, plus our give day, which the goal was $300,000 because we really had no idea what to expect. And as of 2 Fridays ago, we were at 560,000. So overall, we've caught up with all the great activity from Monte Carlo last year, and that's a very positive thing. So if skip down to save some time to total assets, and here I can't project what total assets will be at Halloween, but at the end of September, I know exactly what it was. We were at 11,156,000 in total assets, and versus 8.4 million the year before. Part of that is Mary Jane's gift of $1.5 million. Part of it is a real estate appraisal on the Stafford land that increased the value of that by $1 million. And the stock market is actually down through September 30th. So the rest is just in fundraising. And if you skip to the very last page, Stacy, if you could go to keep going. Yeah. This tells you, if you look at it real carefully, we've earned more money and we're spending more money. And we're exceptionally proud of that. The bottom number, the 2020, 2021 number is not finished yet. But if you concentrate on those 2 first boxes, you'll see how well we're doing. And I won't entertain any questions because I only have Jan G, I don't think I've ever talked so fast.
I was impressed. I was
I was-
impressed.
I was impressed as well.
We have a couple minutes if you want to go refill your coffee, etc. We won't begin until 4, so.
Dr. Gullickson, if you want to stop your recording, I will do it to the cloud for the other part.
I'm still having trouble with my cursor, so it might take me a while.
Okay.